Okay, so that's with the visor closed at 30. Okay, yeah, so 30 mile an hour, not much actual wind going past the helmet, and visor down. And again, as I say, microphone, it's basically resting on my top lip. Oh, there's the speed limit change there, hidden by the bushes. Just here. I would have gone then, yes. Shorts on, I'm a fucking idiot. Shorts on. Huh? What a fucking tool. Oh, for fuck's sake. It was already stopped. Yeah, on your own side of the road, you fucking tool. God damn it. Okay, so you can see we're approaching a very tight bend. You can see the limit point. So we come all the way out. And as we come around the bend, you see it open out. The same with this right, left-hand bend here. So we stay out, and we're looking into the bend, and you see it open. So they cut across the roundabout to straight line it and went as slow as if they'd just gone all the way around it. So what was the benefit of doing that? What was the point? To the right. fuck it. Big hole in the road. Oh no, okay. Let's go to the motorway. Idiot. So he's flashing his lights. At what point was he going to hit me? At what point was I possibly going to get hit then? By him? None at all. We were back over and in way before. Way before he came anywhere near us. So when we do motorway riding, there are basically only a few things we need to think about. That's entering and exiting the motorway on the slip roads, and overtaking and pulling back in, basically. So the type of slip roads we have are elevated, so when it's elevated, get as close as you can to the motorway so you can look over, judge the speed of the vehicles, and then you can pull into the traffic quite easily. Okay. So this is me doing 70. Now you can see the traffic moves considerably quicker than 80 miles an hour, than 70 miles an hour. Now effectively, overtakes on the motorway are nearly all momentum overtakes. Meaning that we don't have to accelerate to go past, we're maintaining the speed, we see that we're catching, we maintain that speed and go past the slower moving vehicles. So they're effectively momentum overtakes. Now the other thing we have to make decisions are, when are we, and if we are, going to indicate to the left to pull back in. Obviously we'll always be indicating to the right if there's traffic behind us, but do we need to indicate to the left when we're pulling in? My take on that is there, if there's traffic in the other lane, not the immediate lane you're going to pull into, so for now I would indicate here to let the traffic in the other two lanes know that I was coming this way, so that they don't pull out and come over this way and into this lane, so we don't meet. So again, but now at this point, for example, I just have a quick shoulder check and I'll just pull in. There was no traffic behind us in the lane behind us or the lane outside of that, and there was no traffic on the inside that we had to concern ourselves with that was going to pull out in front of us. Catching this guy up, so I'll shoulder check, we've indicated, out we go, we'll just maintain our speed. One of the biggest problems again that we have with motorway traffic is most of them are speeding, and the other thing is how close they are. So you have to bear all of this in mind, especially when you're approaching junctions where you may want to be pulling off, because you may not find gaps to go into. So again, there's nothing here behind me that I need to indicate for, so a shoulder check and I've just come over. Okay, there was no traffic on the inside lane that we needed to worry about coming out in front of us. That was an indicate, we did a shoulder check and out we went. With regards to your lane position, it's the same as the road basically. If you are if you're going to get caught between traffic on either side, then stay as central as possible. if for example I'm going to go past this BMW now, I'll come over to the left hand side to allow as much room between us as possible. Conversely, if I'm on the inside lane and something is overtaking me, I'll stay in the centre or possibly even move over to the left. But if I'm in one of the middle lanes, if there are 4 lanes like there are here, if I'm in either of the middle lanes and there's traffic passing either side of me, I'm overtaking and there's traffic overtaking me, then I'll stay in the centre. Okay, so we want the 556, so I'm going to start moving over. I'm going to indicate here. Okay, so we've just come off the motorway and we're going to be turning left onto the 556. Okay, so this is all new. So as we come here, we can see the speed limit is 60 miles an hour. Okay. You notice that was an actual 60 speed limit, not a national. Okay. Now you can see there's 4 lanes on this road. Okay, so what is the difference between a dual carriageway and a single carriageway? So we can see here that there are 4 lanes separated by double white lines in the centre. So there's the double white lines, 2 lanes this side, 2 lanes that side. This is a single carriageway, okay, not a dual carriageway. This is a dual carriageway because it's got a hard central reservation. Okay, so this is a dual carriageway, not a dual carriageway. Dual carriageway, not a dual carriageway. Okay, so remember, when you're on a dual carriageway with a national speed limit, the speed limit is 70. when you're on a single carriageway with a national speed limit, the speed limit is 60. Okay, so this is 90 mile an hour, so I'll be assuming that the wind noise is phenomenal. Okay, so let's have a look and see if we can give a better idea of why we use the road positions we use. Right, so let's see if we can get... So what we're going to be looking at here is limit points. Okay, I'm going to try and explain what limit points are, show you what limit points are, explain the position, the road positioning system that we use, and then try to explain why we use that system and what the benefit is from using that. So when we look at the road positions, we split the road into five distinct segments. So when we talk about the road position, we basically say there are 5 lines, okay? So position 1 is right over by the curb. Position 2 is in the left-hand wheel track of a car. Position 3 is the centre of a road. Position 4 is the right-hand wheel track. And position 5, which I'll show you after these cars, position 5 is as far over to the centre without crossing the line as possible. So this is position 5. Oh, let's move over again. And again, we'll just wait. Okay, so we've got 5 road positions that we talk about. Position 1 is right over to the curb. Position 2 is in the left-hand car wheel tracks on the road. Position 3 is the centre of the road. Position 4 is in the right hand wheel track. Yeah, just pull out in front of him, why don't you? Good God. Okay, so when we talk about, so when do we use these positions? Basically what we do is, we want to use these positions to make our view around the corner as large as possible. We want to extend the limit point. So what do we mean by the limit point? Well, if we look up ahead, I'll just straighten through here. If we look up ahead, we can see there's a left-hand curve, and the limit point is the point where the hedge or the roadside on the right-hand side meets up with the hedge on the left-hand side. Now again, I'll just straight line through here. Okay, and what we do is if we're approaching a right-hand bend, we will move over as far as we can to the left-hand side to open that view. You can see the tops of the hedges, so it gives us an idea of the line of the road. So there are always indications like the telegraph poles running alongside the road, but don't take them as gospel. Okay. So when we talk about the 5 positions in the road, we're talking about where the bike is positioned on the road for any particular given. So when we talk about road positioning, we basically break the road up into 5 positions. Break the road up into 5 positions. And the bike will be positioned in one of those 5 positions, depending on the situation. Okay. So, when we're travelling on a straight section of road, or an open road like this, the normal position will be in the middle of the road, position 3. When we're going around a right-hand bend, we would move over to bend. It opens up so we can see the boat road goes around. So I'm going to come into position 5, and it opens the view up ahead of me, and as soon as I see the limit point open, I know I can come back to the centre of the road. So again, we come over to the left hand side and it's open, so we can come back into the centre. Okay, so for right hand bends, we go as far over to the left as we can. For left hand bends, we go over as far over to the right as we can. It's basically almost like leaning to look around a corner. So I can see the cars ahead are going round a left hand bend just ahead of me. So I'm going to stay out to the right. Okay, so the 5 road positions. On a normal straight road, we would be in position 3, or just slightly off the centre line. The left-hand wheel track is position 2, and as far over to the hedge is position 1. The right-hand wheel track is position 4, and the centre of the road as close as we can without going over the line is position 5. So our normal position for going down a straight road or a very open road would be position 3, or just slightly off the centre. For going around a right hand bend, we would move over to position 2 or even position 1. We stay out there until the bend opens, and as soon as the limit point opens, we can bring the bike towards the centre of the road again. So up ahead I can see there's a left hand bend, so I want to open that bend up as much as I can, so I'll come over to the left. Stay out here, it opens, I can come to the centre. It's going round to the right, so I move over to the left. I go around the bend, I'm looking at the limit point, looking at the limit point, look, and it opens up, and I can come to the centre of the road. Oh, could have gone then. Should have gone then. So our approach to a roundabout, and we're turning right. So we check our mirrors. Check our mirrors, we're indicating. We're going to move over to the right to let people know we're going right. We do a shoulder check, there's nothing coming. Maintain a positive throttle. Checking the exits there. Indicate off, shoulder check, off we go. Cancel indicator. So one of the other decisions we have to make when we're approaching roundabouts is when do we or don't we straight line the roundabout. Straight lining roundabouts depends on a number of different things. Okay? First of all, it will depend on traffic behind you. Traffic coming from the left as you're on the roundabout, and obviously the shape of the roundabout itself, how big or small it is. So when would you make a decision that you are going to straight line a roundabout? Well, the first thing would be, on your approach to the roundabout, is there a possibility of a car or another bike, another vehicle on the road? Is there a possibility that they're going to come on the inside of you on your right hand side? Now normally we would say no, there's probably not going to be, but on the approach to the roundabout you should have been checking your mirrors anyway, and as you come towards a roundabout you can just do a quick shoulder check to make sure there's nothing there. Okay, park cars to the right, and we know the cars are going to come out to the middle that are going past them, so we just move slightly to the left. Come back to the middle of the road, so we've got an equal distance between the parked cars and the oncoming cars. Just trying to make sure that if somebody does suddenly open the passenger or the driver's door as we're passing the car, we're out far enough that the door isn't going to hit us. Now you do that as much as possible. On the approach to parked cars where it's a little bit tight, try and look in through the back window, see if you can see people in there, but really slow down, be ready just in case somebody does open that door. So it looks like it's a cyclist up ahead. Oh God, there's one going each way. That sounds a bit windy. wankers. Okay, so on the approach to a humpback bridge, especially a narrow humpback bridge like this, you keep well left. Okay. Go over very slowly, keeping your eye out in case there are pedestrians coming on your side of the road. Okay. Now normally you'll be able to see them because of the height you're at on riding your bike. You'll actually be able to see over the bridge a hell of a lot more than actually if you were sat down in a car. So you would spot somebody quite quickly if they were coming over. Okay, nobody coming. It's always the way you get these people who complain about speeding. We're in a 30, they're off, they're on the way. You get into a national and you speed, oh, you're a hooligan. coming into land. Oh, that is going to crash. And there they go, you see, we're in a 30 and they're off. All the brake lights. They weren't going that slow. Cheeky bastard. That's what's hurting the back of my fucking head and neck. My hair knots. So one of the big questions is, one of the things that seems to be a grey area, a dark art, is when to do a shoulder check. Okay. Okay, so the primary sort of, the rule of thumb is if you're going to make a change of direction, before you make the change of direction, you need to do a shoulder check. Now, we don't mean when you're moving from, say, position 3 to position 2 or to position 1 or etc., so on and so on. Okay, so the rule of thumb for a shoulder check is when you are going to change direction. You're going to make a definite change in direction. Oh. And the rule would be you do the shoulder check before you do the change of direction. Okay. Now, it's not, you wouldn't do a shoulder check, for example, in this situation when you're on the open road. So, for example, watch out for this guy. I could have gone then. Okay, and the 30 mile an hour limit is here. 30. So, when do you do a shoulder check? The rule of thumb for a shoulder check would be whenever you think somebody is going to take an opportunity to go past you when they shouldn't, or come underneath you when they shouldn't. The other times you would do a shoulder check is when you're going to make a definite change of direction. Now, I don't mean like I am now, where I might just move from one side of the road to another, but I mean if we're going to turn left or we're going to turn right. So if we're going to make a right turn, for example, we'd be travelling down the road normally, we would check our mirrors, we would see the turn coming up, we would indicate, shoulder check, move over to the centre of the road, so now nothing on our side of the road can come up the inside of us, up this side of us, and then before we turn, we do another shoulder check just to make sure somebody isn't going to try and get around us on the outside. Okay? For a left turn, it would be slightly different. How much fucking room do you need? I couldn't have done it on a straighter road. Yeah, exactly. How much room did you need? Fucking people. You know what I mean? He got past me when there was traffic coming, so he could have done it at any time. Anyway, let him fucking go. £40 mph, and it's just above my top lip again. Ooh, fuck, shit himself. Okay, so I'm going to ride this next section of road at the speed limit for a comparison to the old camera. Oh, sun come out. Fuck's sake. Go back, do it again. Yeah, back of my head feels a lot better. Shall we try once more? I can turn around anywhere here now because it's when it starts at that 40, that's where the video's going to start. So Ugh, dabber. Okay, so Here it is, Chief, 151.9. 151. Well, I wonder what it's like now. Now I'm not driving. Can you hear me? Honestly, how did they not see me? Wow, there's a fucking car in front of them. So it's the car that's holding us up. Look at it. The fuck? Top down, brain out. So would you straight line this roundabout? Well, there's a lane for people to turn left, but there's nobody going around me on the left. There's no traffic I need to concern myself about coming from the left, from the right. So yes, I will straight line it. This fucking idiot doing 10 mile an hour. It's a national speed limit. I'm doing 58. Look, and we're leaving him for fucking dead. What's he pissing about at? Okay, so let's think about our road position. Right, so let's think about our position on the road for whatever is ahead of us. So a standard normal road position and a straight road, or even a road with a very long open curve like this, is position 3. Now what we want to do is to open up the limit point as much as we can and see as far around the next bend or the next corner as we can. The further around we can see it, the faster we can go. The less we can see around the corner, the slower we go. And this is what determines our speed. Okay, so we're going straight on. So again, what I would be looking for now is anybody or anything coming underneath me? No, it's not. So I can straight line and go through. Okay. Oh, crappy road. There's only a little stint here and it goes to a roundabout and then the same again to another roundabout. So again, can I straight line this roundabout? Now when we straight line, or when we talk about straight lining, we're basically saying we want to keep the bike as upright as possible. So if I was to follow lane discipline, you would be going all the way around to the left, swing around to the right, and then left again. There's nothing on the inside of me. So again, you basically keep the bike upright and make the line through the roundabout as straight as possible. That's what straight lining is. Okay, to keep the bike as upright as possible so you've got better stability and better control. Okay. So again, this roundabout, and we straight line it. We've got nothing coming on the inside of us, so you can see I cut to the inside of the roundabout and then the outside of the exit to keep the bike as upright as I possibly can. So this is quite a twisty, windy road that we're going to go down. Okay, so you can see the sharp right hand just up ahead, and that's a great example where you can see the limit point. So for the left, we stay out to the left. Oh, now we come back into the middle. Okay. So we can see through this, so I'll straighten through here, but keep slightly left, right, and we can go straight. So what it is when you're looking up ahead, as you see the bend open up, that means you can accelerate. If the limit point comes together and gets closer to you, that means then that it's basically the bend is getting tighter. Now normally for a left-hand bend we'd be in position 5, but there's a lot of oncoming traffic, so I'm staying in position 3 in case they cut that corner. Okay, so again I'm staying in position 3. Now I can move out to position 5. I can see the bend is going around to the left, so I'll stay here in position 5 and now come over into position 2. Coming up the brow of the hill, stay in position 2. I'm looking. Okay, very sharp right hand bend. I'm going to come into position 2 because of this junction. It opens up, we can come into the middle of the road. Okay, very sharp right hand bend, so we're moving into position 1. It opens up, we can come into the middle. We're going round to the left, over to position 5. Stay out, right, now we can come to the middle because it's opening up and we're okay there. Okay, left hand bend coming up here, so we'll come over to position 5. Come in because there's an oncoming vehicle. We can see it's a straight road, stay in position 3. Right hand bend coming up, so we move over into position 1. Watch out for this junction here. So move into 3, follow the road around. Click this corner here. Look straight over into position 3, around. Okay, so you can see what you need to do. Obviously, for left-hand bends, you do want to be as far over, as close to this line in the centre as you can. And they're turning there, so let's watch them, and off they go. So that you can see more around that corner. But obviously, you have to be aware, just in case, if there's oncoming traffic that might clip the corner, or there's a large farm vehicle with all these bits hanging off, overhanging. Right, now I know the road straightens up, so I'm going to stay in this position here, and as we come just around this bend here, I can now see all the way down the road and it's not clear. I'm not going to be able to make the overtake before we come into the unbroken white line, so I drop back now to my normal following position. See, there's the white line. So we stay in this normal following position. Okay, watch out for some traffic coming around, that's okay. Come over to position 1, just clear it. Back out to position 5. Change sharp right, so we come over to position 1. I know it goes into an unbroken, so I'm closing now to an overtaking following position, and off we go. Okay. So we're adopting a normal position in the road here, about position 3. There's some sort of industrial or craft centre here, so we move over to the right, position 1. Come over to position 3 because of the oncoming traffic. Move over to position 2. Stay in 2. Watch this junction here, or this entrance. Now we go over to position 1. Watch this entrance here, so come into 2. Move out to 1. Okay, now we can come to the middle of the road. We come to the middle of the road. We're going to move over to position 5 for the left-hand bend. We stay out here as long as we can, but as soon as we see the road opening out, we can come to the middle of the road, or if we see oncoming traffic, we drop to position 4 or even position 3. Okay? And basically we have to connect all of these corners as smoothly as we possibly can. You know, so I'm already moving to the right position, already moving to the position 5. Looking out for traffic coming ahead in case I need to come in. Yeah. I can see the road up ahead is going to the left. I'm in the middle of the road, but I'll just follow the line of the road. Come over to position 2. I can see all the way over to the junction over there, so I don't need to be in the extreme position 1, so I can come to the middle of the road. We'll sort of straight line through that part to this part, which naturally brings us into position 5. In position 5, staying out here, looking up ahead, looking at that limit point. I saw the shadow of the van, so that instantly made me come in. Okay. Again, we've got the bend here. So I can already see it opening up, so I just stay in position 2, come over into position 4, and now moving slowly into position 5. Looking for this bend here. Looking, look, it's opening up. I can come back to the middle. Okay, roadworks. So we're going to come up to the roadworks. Don't sit in the middle like this. Come over this way, because there might be something, for example, coming out from the work site over here on the right hand side, and if they swing out and you're in the middle of the road, they could catch it. So give everything a wide berth. Or give everything room for a wide berth. Okay, so we've got vehicles coming up behind us, so just keep our eye on that. Right, he's slowing down ahead of us, so the lights are going to be changing soon. Now, I don't think it's a three-way light. Just shoulder check, we're okay. There we go. Okay, so left-hand bend coming up, but we can see over the top, so it's not that bad. So I only have to come into position 2. Move over to position 4. Now I'm going to stay in position 4 to keep clear of that junction and keep clear of that junction. Now we can move over into position 1. It's not that bad. Stay in position 2. Come back to position 3. Move over for this junction here. Come back over to position 2. Watch that big twig on the road. In fact, there's a few of them. So keep our eye on that. Just moved over to 2 just to give that Arctic a wide berth. Sometimes when these lorries come past you, they can create a lot of turbulence if you're too close to them. So just move over to left, give them a wide berth. Okay, so we're into position 1, over to 3, wait for him to go past, out to 5. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm just going to go straight and cut this line here. That's where we come back in now because of the Land Rover. Stay out, staying in position 4, all the way around the corner. Come slightly in because there's a brow, we can see the traffic's okay. Right hand bend ahead, move over into position 1. We can see over the top of the hedges, it's not that bad. In position 2, come to position 3. Just stay on this natural line, and this line will naturally take us out to position 5 by the time we get to the bend. Okay, stay in position 4. Now we can move out to 5. Come round, over to position 3. Slowly working away over to position 1. There's a junction there, so I'll stay in position 3 in case something like that happens. There's another junction just here on the right, so again there's nothing coming, so I'm going to give it a very wide berth. School signs here, and I'm not sure what time it is. It's daytime. Another junction, so we'll give that a wide berth, and we'll just drop a speed right down just in case there is any parents picking up. Everything's fine there. We're coming into a national. Check our mirrors. There's absolutely nothing behind us. Quick shoulder check just to make sure nothing's going to try and get round us. Accelerate up to the speed limit. There's a lay-by on this side, but we can see it's empty, so we don't have to give that any clearance. We've got a right-hand bend coming up, but it looks very gradual, so I'm only in position 2 at the moment, because it's still quite open. Position 2, position 2, position, and it's opening right up. So now I'm moving over to position 5, okay, into position 4, and then I'm going to cut in a straight line, without going into 1 and 5 until we come to this point here. So I'm staying in position 3. So there's a brow of the hill there, so we have to watch it because there's like a hidden dip there. So we have to be wary of anything coming up out the hidden dip that we can't see. So everything's fine. We're going into trees. We can see the direction of the road from where that car just came. So we know that there isn't a bend right at the top of this rise. But we can see there's a little bend further down. So we move slowly over into position 1. Opens up. So we're back into the middle of the road before we even got to position 1. Okay. So we'll just stay out for this entrance and exit. Move over to 1, and it's already opening up, so we can stay in 3. So you can see it's a gradual movement. What we don't want to see is, oh, I need to move over and do a sudden movement into position 1 or into position 5, because it shows that you haven't been looking far enough. You've not been planning far enough ahead. You've not been watching what's going on and adjusting yourself accordingly. Now, when you're on your test, if you're following at a slow speed like this, technically you don't really need to be changing in position 1, position 5, because you're going so slow you can easily stop in the distance that you can see in front of you safely and on your side of the road. However, if you just to show the examiner that you are aware of your road position, you can, even in a town, just make slight movements, even if it's only 2, 3 or 4, just to show, for example, go to 2, move away from the junction, move from oncoming traffic, You see it's all clear. We move to 3. We can see there's a bend and a junction coming out. Do we go into 2? No, we don't, because there's a car there, so stay in 3. Come all the way around. You know, so you can still show your examiner that you're aware of your road position and what you're doing just by moving small amounts. Just going from position 2, oh, car coming here, to position 4. You could have ridden that road all the way in position 4, but it shows your examiner that you're actually looking ahead and scanning the road, and you're actually positioning yourself before you even get there. As long as you don't move into a position that generates and creates a hazard, for example, moving in towards a driveway where somebody's coming out or something like that, you know, be aware that there may be junctions or driveways and that sort of thing, and treat them as you would any hazard on the road. So, for example, in this situation, when we're talking about shoulder checks, in this situation, yeah, I'm stopped here. We're going to be moving forward. I'm not going to put it into neutral because I've got to be ready to go. So in this position, what I would be looking for, I would do a shoulder check just in case there's another bike or something who's trying to get around the outside of us in the traffic queue. So that's a good example of when you would do a shoulder check when you're moving away. Same again, just in case somebody's coming round or thinking of coming round. I don't see any indicators, so I've no idea where. Oh, there he is. He's indicating now. That's good. Told us everything we need to know. Oh, no, it didn't. And he didn't turn right in the end, he came this way anyway. Okay. So as I say, even in town, you don't have to be doing extreme positions 1, position 5 and such like. But if you show some movement and awareness. So now we'll stay away from these on the right, but not too close to them, away from them on the left, but not too close to them on the right. Looking inside there, just in case somebody's coming from behind the van. Another good way of showing that you're scanning ahead is by not running over grids in the road. Right, it's not indicating, so I'm not sure where it's going. They're not going, they are going, they're not going. Okay. Somebody's not driving now for some reason. No, he's not driving for some reason. Well, I knew the second vehicle was turning left, which is why I stayed alongside him and didn't try and go past that guy in front. So we normally get a quick filter light, and there it is. If anybody goes, there we go. Okay, nothing coming from the right that we need to worry about. You're on your own side of the fucking road, idiot. We're going to overtake. We wait till we get past the junction's clear so we can go. Thank you. Okay, so we can see there's a right hand bend. There's a junction here, so we stay in position 2 all the way around. We can enter 1, back into 2. Now we can come into the centre of the road. Let's go into the right. So continue the turn to bring us over to position 5, back into 4, 3 actually. Staying in 3, staying in 3, staying in 3. Parked vehicle there, which will have a tendency to make people come around the outside of him, even if he's not on the road. Did you see that? So when you see that, make sure you come in away from the vehicle. So we're in position 3. We can move over to 5. We can see up the road. So I'm only reached 4, so I'll stay in 4. So I'm staying in 4 again. The road's going round to the left. So we're over into 5. Look, it opens out, over and into 3. So I can see change of speed limit up ahead, but I'm still maintaining my speed now. Okay, there's the 30 mile an hour speed limit. And 30. There's oncoming traffic here, we have to give way, but there's a little bit of a thing here that we can use so we can actually carry on. Okay, park vehicles, let's move over. There's nothing coming, so give them a really wide berth. There's nothing to lose. You've got no oncoming vehicles, you've got loads of room, so you might as well use it. Okay, we have the right of way here, but just in case, we always move over to the left, just in case we have to get out their way if they decide to come. Everything's fine there. Back into position 3. This is still a 30. Speed limit hasn't changed yet. So we're approaching. Now I got asked this on my video when I was showing my test route, and they said, what about if you've got pedestrians coming over the bridge? Now this camera is on the helmet, so if you can see, when we get to here, we can see all the way over before we even reach the bridge. The other camera was lower down on the fairing on the bike, the original camera, so it looked a lot lower and we didn't see over the bridge until we were practically over the bridge. Whereas you can see, this is mounted, it's still lower than my eyesight, so I can see even sooner over the bridge than the camera can. Okay, so we're in a national. We've got a right-hand bend coming up. There's an entrance here, so we'll stay in position 3 to go through the bend because of those 2 entrances. Move over to position 4 while we go past this entrance. There's another entrance at the bend. Okay, oncoming vehicle, so we'll stay in 4. They look as though they're going to pull out, so we'll come over into 3 and coming over into 2. Not sure how far they're coming. They're actually coming in this direction. Okay, there's a couple of entrances on the left as we're slowing down towards the bridge. So we'll stay into 3. As soon as we've gone past the entrance, we'll come over into 2, hug right into 1, keep looking over, everything's fine, we can go. Okay, staying in 2, now I'm coming into 3. Staying 3 down here, there's a slight bend ahead of us, so coming into 2, it's opened out, so I'll cut that corner and I'm actually straight into the correct position for this left hand. Now we come over to the left for the right hand, follow that through. There's a slight right hand and it's downhill, he's dipping there and disappearing over the horizon. Okay, well away from the bus. Okay, here, so there's a fair drop, so stay straight over the drop, staying in position 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, you know, that lingering position, over now to position 2. We're going fairly slow, so I don't need to be in the extreme position because I can stop quite easily here, okay, in the distance that I can see on my side of the road safely. Okay, junction here, so let's move away from the junction. Look in, that's okay, nothing there. Another right hand bend, watch this entrance and exit. come over, there's another entrance and exit there on the bend, so I'm in 2, opens up into 3. So all the time we're like this. We're still looking at all these other, just to see if there's anybody might be poking the face out coming. Right, watch him in case he thinks about going around the bike, so we give him a wide berth. Okay, 30 limit here, so make sure we're only doing 30. Okay, so we have to give way to oncoming traffic. Now again, when I actually reach this point, you can see this little island thing here. We can actually ride here without going over the other side of the road, so we can still ride through that without having to make the oncoming traffic give way to us. Okay, they still have a priority, but we're not actually getting in their way, so it's okay to do that. So I'm watching all these entrances to car parks and such like. Coming over now, we're going to be turning right, which is practically straight on where the cars are going up there now. So I'm indicating we're going to slow and let this car come out. Okay, go around the roundabout, indicate, and off. I did do a shoulder check, I just didn't say it. Make sure there's no oncoming traffic coming around here. We have the priority. Middle road, straight over to the left, to keep away from them in case they decide to pull out. Okay, back into 3. The road goes around to the right up there. There's a few signs here now. Road narrows, got cattle. There's an entrance here, so let's stay away from the entrance, and now well over to the left. Slow. You can sound your horn as well sometimes. Okay, we're okay here. It's still a 30 at the moment. Mirrors, check, and off we go. This is a national. So I'm in position 4 here, out of 5. Okay, so I'm going to move over to the left to keep away from the bus. And we're going around this very sharp right-hand bend. There's a car on the left who's waiting to come out. Sorry, he's not waiting to come out, he is coming out. Watch this one here, keep away from them. Over to the left, give them room. Back to position 3. Everything's fine here. Still keeping our eyes open where there's gates and driveways and all this. Looking to see if we can see actually anything approaching them, as opposed to waiting to see if we can see anything at the actual driveway at the junction. You know, so we're looking all the way down there. We can see over the top of the hedges. We can see the shape of the bend. So all these things give us an idea. Do we need to slow down? If in doubt, yes, we always slow down. Remember, safety trumps everything. If you're unsure, take your time. Okay, so we're getting signs here to say there's a sharp bend to the left. We've got slow in the road. The white dotted lines are getting closer. Maximum speed 20, and we've got the black and white chevrons. Now I know this corner, so what you do have to watch out for is there's an entrance here, so to a farm shop. So I know that when you come around here, sometimes there can be queues of traffic on this section of road. Okay, basically we're going to do a left and a right. It's a staggered junction. We're actually going straight across. Now the thing is, when the traffic lights change from whichever direction, only that traffic can move. Now most of the people know this, and yet they still keep a lane discipline. And it's not illegal for us to cut all of the corners, use all of the road, because there's no other traffic coming. So you'll see these cars in front of us, they'll drive forward, then they'll turn right and drive and turn left. Whereas I'm basically going to cut the corner, go diagonally across and then turn left. And they can all do that. But they don't. See, they drive all the way forward. Then you can just cut this corner and practically go in a straight line. Okay. Traffic. When can we filter and when can we not filter? Well, basically, if we can see there's no oncoming traffic and we can pick a landing spot, we can go anytime. Now obviously when it's slow moving traffic like this, they're always very, very close together. So what I'm looking for is gaps in the traffic, and I'm also looking for cars that may have pulled in. So for example here, that's perfect. In we come. So I can come over to the left so I can see further out. Yep, not going there. So we're going slightly quicker than walking pace at the moment. And this is part of the slow riding exercise that people need to practice. So when we were talking about shoulder checks, if you don't stop moving in a traffic queue like this, as long as you're checking your mirrors, you don't really need to do a shoulder check because you're still moving. So if you can keep moving, now he's going to stop for the crossing, which is good. So I'll be going straight across at this roundabout. So this slow riding is all about slipping your clutch, using normally your rear brake to stabilise the bike. It's making that decision as well as to whether you can keep moving or whether you're going to have to put your foot down. I'm going now. And here endeth today's lesson. Slow down.